What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Thursday Night Live from the office above the garage for the world's #1 live tuning show, In Tune with the Goat Rope Garage. There is plenty of stuff going on in the chat room already. Hello, everybody. Good to see you again. It is Thursday, Friday here in the garage, so that means we're going to crack open a nice cold beer in a Goat Rope Garage koozie. If you want your own, go check out the Patreon. I mean, it's only 8 o'clock, but I'll go ahead and pimp myself for a little bit. As there you go. Zero says he'll be 3 deep before this is over. You shotgunning him or what, brother? Yeah, I mixed my own also today, Scott. It involved a 5-gallon can of methanol. I'm just kidding. That stuff's nasty. That stuff's nasty. That being said, let's go ahead and give a shout out to the new patrons. We missed them last week because I was under the weather. It was not COVID-19. I had a head cold or something. I slept all day Thursday. But that being said, we've got a decent list to go through here, so bear with me. And if you are one of the new patrons that I shout out today, raise your hand and say hi. That way we can all thank you for supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. We got Mike, Luke, Bobby, Paul, J. Mike, Steve, Justin, Jonathan, Solly, Alvaro, Dustin, Jared, and Ahmed. Wow. That is amazing, you guys. Appreciate your support as always. Listen, we got a lot going on right now. I'll be honest with you. It's even though we're pretty much all under quarantine, busy. In fact, I've got 3 or 4 videos to release. If you are a patron, you saw today that I posted a video grabbing beer with the garage where we actually took the Super Auto out for its first spin since installing all this new stuff on it. And, obviously nothing's been tuned on it yet. But it made it there and back without throwing a belt, which is a good sign. Good sign. That's the first step. I've ate 2 belts already. I got some issues with belt alignment. Pretty standard. But I came to find out today that ProCharger has a what they call the level 2 ProCharger kit for these models of trucks that actually relocates the head unit and does a dedicated 8-rib drive on it where you add a pulley down on the crank. We're going to get one of those on the way here soon. So we will switch over to the Zero. It's not the manual tensioner, or it's not the automatic tensioner. It's something to do with one of the idler pulleys on the bracket. If it's not adjusted just perfectly right, it causes the belt to slip off the water pump. Now, I've not tried the Gates RPM, but I do have a Gatorback belt on the way. I've had good luck with those as long as I get everything dialed in straight. But honestly, as I said, probably here in the coming weeks, I'm going to go ahead and order this new bracket setup, switch over to an 8-rib, which is what we're going to need for the F1A anyways. Barely any throttle. This thing was hitting 6 PSI of boost already, so very nervous. So, William, longtime listener, first-time caller, welcome to the live show, brother. A lot of familiar names in here. Hey, everybody. Instead of going down the line, I'm just going to say, hey, everybody. We are giving away a shirt tonight, so you can get a sweet Goat Rope Garage shirt. This one's got a stain on it somewhere on there, and it's a sweet Project Country Club edition shirt. Yeah, you know it. Gotta love that. Sure, John, throw it out there, man. If you guys haven't checked out the Facebook group, John of the Jungle is the moderator over there. We appreciate all of the work, John. And I don't do Facebook. I jump on long enough to jump on the Facebook Marketplace. I'm a member of the group, but I'm not active on Facebook right now. In fact, I suspended my account again. Raffle has not started quite yet, John. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it, brother. S10, that's not the issue. I actually have the laser alignment stuff for the pulleys, and I've gone through that 90,000 times over, but it's what it ends up being is just adjusting the manual tensioner on the bracket just right. My tag's hanging out? Damn. Good looking out, Sam. Dylan, needs some help, guys. Every time I attempt to log my AFR and other channels that I had to just disappear. All channels. I know you can't answer that, John. Disappearing channels maybe generally comes back to the fact that there's too many channels being logged for that platform. Tomic, grab a 3D printer, make some DIY masks. You're making DIY masks, and I'm making Goat Rope Garage chiclets for the Cadillac. So you're a better person than I am. Yes, Moto Brewmaster, belt stretch is a pain. Scott's got a good idea also whether or not he repolled parameters. Thank you, Hillary. I love this, the Project Country Club logo. In case you haven't seen it. Oh, look at this. It's so sweet. Yeah, the light's a little bit bright. Woo! The designer did a good job on that one. What's up, JT? Hopefully some other people are enjoying a cold beverage tonight. Yes, Zero, I did get it. And I got it. You know what? I got to go back and remember what I had to do to get the constant to make the math to VE formula work. You're asking me to pick my brain from something way too far back. 325 LS Sonoma. Dude, that thing has the straight cut gears in it, and it is just supercharger noise at all times. It just has pure whine. Here we go. Jeremy says, what up? Figured out my spark blowout at 10 plus PSI on my Gym 562 ended up being the OE plug wires. Even tried a new set. Taylor Thunderbolt 50s fixed it mint. Good to know, Jeremy. That's good information. I appreciate you coming back and dropping that knowledge out there, because that makes me wonder if I need to change my OE plug wires. Cheers, Scott. Michael, the taillights are worth what you're willing to pay for them unless you're willing to fix them yourself. And just don't do what I did and put them in the oven too hot and melt part of the plastic. Snowing in Michigan, dirt floor. We've got a lot of rain, so it's not been good. It's not been good. Banana beer, banana bread beer. Atomic Punk's drinking ice cold water. So we are officially running as of today. Today was the first time we got the Super Auto out. A lot of tuning to do. Went through and did all the parameters on the Stage 4 boost cooler from Snow Performance. Big shout out to our sponsors on that one. Thank you, guys. I'll be honest with you. It's kind of a badass unit. And they don't even kind of lean into some of the stuff that you can do with it. I kind of look forward to maybe going into some of the deeper stuff that they don't touch on even in the instructions and stuff like that later on. But man, really impressed with that setup so far, and really excited to be mixing my own stuff with straight methanol and distilled water. So it was a little bit interesting. Smelled like a vodka distillery whenever I pulled into the driveway today. Tom says, can you touch on tuning for air conditioning? AC off fuel trims are 0.3 to 0.5. AC on short trims go to -6. Well, Tom, you've got a offset table on there specifically for air conditioning, but it really shouldn't matter outside of cruise and idle. That's interesting, because your standard offsets, though, should work once you get your fuel trims dialed in. Yeah, Jay, I'm getting a lot of that wind also over here. Zero says, since my math can read more than the Gen 3 ECM can calculate, will it still populate the VE table? I'm trying to figure out what you mean by that, Zero. Since my math can read more than the Gen 3 ECM can calculate, I mean, it will populate until you max out your math as far as the table goes. No, it would still pop. No. I don't know. You'll have to find out and let me know. I need to sit down. Maybe I can sit down this weekend zero and try and help figure out that math. Ah. Hey Ross, I haven't watched your latest video, but I need to catch up on it because that thing's badass. But appreciate it, man. It said stick around. We're going to get into dialing in the tune with methanol. It's pretty straightforward. It's basically the same steps. David just bought HP tuners with a wideband earlier today. Hopefully the wait isn't too long. I don't know which wait you're talking about, David, but to get it. Yeah, probably won't be too bad, depending on where you got your wideband from. William says, have you ever had an AEM wideband with a sense error code on it with nitrous? How often should the sensor be replaced using nitrous? Honestly, the nitrous shouldn't really have that much of an effect on the wideband, given that you're running the nitrous at wide open throttle and you're maintaining your AFR. So long as you're not cooking that thing, you're going to have a little bit more cylinder temperature on that wheel. As far as the sense error code, man, you're going to have to reach out to AEM on that one. My guess is it's probably a bad connection between the wideband and the controller, though. Steve says, I installed a Trailblazer SS intake over the weekend with 92mm throttle body. Having issues when I get off the throttle, I go way lean, even with the fuel cutoff off from 2,000 to 2,600 RPMs. Steve, I wouldn't worry about it. Whenever you get off the throttle, if you're going way lean with DFCO off, turn DFCO on and it's going to go even leaner. It's not going to hurt anything as long as you're not under throttle whenever it's going lean like that. Jeremy says, OE wires have too much resistance. I measured 30 ohms on the Taylors. My meter wouldn't even get a good reading on the OE wires. Felt a difference right away. Man, Jeremy, apparently I'm going to have to go out there and get some new wires ASAP. Thank you, Rick. Glad to be back in tune on Thursday. I did a couple live streams. I did one, Sunday? And I think you guys kind of enjoyed the live stream from the garage stuff, so I'm going to try and toss some more of those in randomly. Because even if you don't catch it live, I think it's probably some cool stuff to talk about. Just dropping the hat after the fact. So, John, good luck with that thing, man. Bolt that thing down to something steady. I think it's all right as long as you have some sidewall to work with. Yeah, Tom, the $75 a month slots fill up pretty quick. Look at the first of the month. Generally, people will drop a $75 slot on the Patreon before it rebuilds because everything bills on the first. So if you want to get the one-on-one live chat, check on the first of next month. But welcome to the party, Tom. Tom is one of our new patrons. I will send you your welcome email as soon as we get done here, Tom. Awesome, Luke. I'm super excited to dive more into it. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it. Good to know. Good to know. Man, a lot of people running the Taylor, so apparently that's the way to go. Steve, none of the tuning will be live. All the tuning will be standard produced content. If it's anything live from the garage, it's just going to be silly ass crap. Steeler 743 says, would an exhaust leak post X pipe and secondary O2s lose much performance? Nope. Just might be annoying. Good to hear it, Ross. And everybody else is waiting on Patreon stuff. Literally, the system has been so slow. I just got the envelopes in today and the labels in like 2 days ago. So there will be a big shipment going out this weekend. Mustang King says, thank you for teaching me through your videos. My 04 GTO runs now because of you. That's awesome to hear, man. Congratulations. Stick around. There's plenty more to learn. You asked me what headers I'm running. I'm running the factory headers right now. You're dang right, it's pricey. I would run, I'll be honest with you, Jeremy, I would run American Racing headers before I spent that money on stainless work headers because I'm cheap on stuff like that. As long as they don't leak. That's the problem that you might run into that you're not going to run into on the stainless works headers is that they're not going to leak. They should have nice and flat flanges, but if you run something like the American Racings, it might be a little bit rough. Can't edit the beer drinking live. Yeah. Michael, good question. How's the new job going? It is keeping me swamped. I'm doing my old job and a new job, which is a lot of emails, a lot of meetings, stuff like that. How does one named Taylor not run Taylor wires? See, Scott, you got more money than I do, apparently. You running them kooks. There you go. John's got ARHs on the G8. No issues. Hey, Brandon, welcome back. I think, Zero, I think you're right. I think American Racing Headers has stepped them up a little bit. They've got a little bit better quality control than they used to have back in the day. Ooh, Brian, any benefit? Okay, wait a second. Brian, what are you working on? That's going to be the big question here. Retarding fuel timing with oversized injectors. You're probably going to want to adjust your minimum pulse width, but I don't know that retarding fuel timing is going to make a difference because that's still going to be calculated on your airflow. Mark H says, breaking news, Goodyear F3 supercar tires do not accept 750 wheel horsepower. I don't know that full true dual is going to get you any true benefit though. 2013 ZL1. Was the 2013 still the LSA, or was that one into the LT models? Somebody help me out there. Andy says, "Hey, should I be concerned with injector timing on a Gen 4.6.2 after a can swap?" No, I don't see why you would be concerned with injector timing on that. Rick says, just got HP tuners, no credits yet. Any suggestions on doing practice hookups? I got an LS6 and an LS2, no wideband as of yet. I mean, you can run the scanner, you can pull the tune and play through the tune, you just can't load the tune in. Yeah, I wish, Michael. James, how's the OBXs, man? They used to have issues back in the day, but I think they kind of stepped their game up also. Yeah, see, that sounds about right. Mark H says American Racing headers on LT4. Just replace gaskets due to leakage. Try duct tape, no luck. Here, hold on a second. Let's do this. Boom. T-shirt raffles live, ladies and gentlemen. Good luck to the winner. Okay, that's what I thought, James. Scrolling up. No, Brian, I don't think that there will be any benefit to retarding fuel timing with the oversized injectors, even though you're only seeing 8 milliseconds. 8 milliseconds is well within the operational range of most injectors. Zipperado, I'm going to add a flex fuel sensor to an 0.46 liter Hummer H2 with a P59. Have you ever ran an E85 on a P59? I can't answer that off the top of my head, Zipperado. Somebody in here probably has a P59 and will be able to tell you. I mean, the P59 does support E85. You may, as I said, have to do a segment swap or an OS change. Jeremy, I would be surprised to see that if you were running 3-inch pipes to a Y, your your restriction is probably not going to be on your exhaust side. You're going to have more restriction on your heads. Your heads are going to, your exhaust is going to flow more than your heads probably will. Or, well, you said you have a good sized cam, but you got to realize that it is whenever you're going through and modifying all this stuff, heads, cam, intake, exhaust, you are modifying to the point where something else is going to become the restriction of airflow. So you can upgrade the top end, like my top end of my Silverado with the 5.3. I've got the 6.2 manifold with the LT4 throttle body and all that crap on there. The top end of it, that's not the issue. Mine's all on the back end. I could pick up more power at a lower boost with exhaust and then going to a cam, but I'm guessing that with 3-inch pipes and decent headers, you're going to start running into head flow issues. Scrolling down here. You got a good point, James. Kook sued OBX over the design of the G8 headers. Mike White, can you do a tutorial vid on adding boost to an E38 on MAF? LOL, oddly specific. Listen, Mike, any MAF video that's been out there that touches on the E38 platform, like the 3rd gen stuff like that, 4th gen stuff like that, both are the same. In fact, MAF tuning has been the same throughout all generations. That's the one thing that has not really changed. And what you're doing is exactly the same, except you're now tuning a curve that's going to ramp up faster. You're going to get higher airflow quicker, and then you have to worry about maxing out your mass airflow. And then that's whenever you get into things like making your intake tubing bigger, or if you're running something like methanol injection that offsets the fuel at that point in time, it'll actually allow your MAF to have more overhead. But any MAF tuning video that's out there already, and I've done a few, will work for boost on a MAF. It's straightforward, brother. DZ says, I'm trying to tune an 0660 on a P59, can't get the mass hertz to come up. Look for mass airflow frequency in the parameter list. The parameter list will say something like mass or frequency. You're looking for the one that's listed as frequency, DZ. That will be the one that brings back the hertz. There you go. Zeth sticking up. I probably didn't need to do that since Zeth could already see your email there. Zeth, we'll remove that. Zeth, if you did not get his email, tell him to post it again, and I won't delete it this time. I just don't want it posted in live chat. It's a good question, Brandon. I mean, could you not just use your compressor in a different mount? Hold on, I got to copy this part number down that Jeremy just posted. Under $100, man. I don't know why I wouldn't do that. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm pasting this in. Taylor. Boom, boom, boom. Thunderbolts. Perfect. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Hey, Scott. Thanks for the nitrous purge, brother. Super Slowrado says, question, is HP beta the way to go or not? Okay, here's my thoughts on this, Super Slow, is that the beta is basically going to be the latest options. So if you're on the newest car, definitely run the beta. If you're on a 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020 platform, I would probably want to go out and grab the beta. Now, I personally use the beta just because I deal with so many people. Zero, I'll get back to your question here in a second. But that being said, if you're on on a Gen 3 or a Gen 4, no reason to run the beta unless there's a specific option that has recently been released, which most likely is not going to happen because that stuff's basically set in stone. And then early Gen 5 stuff is going to be the same thing because they're moving on to the new ECM platforms. So, but at the same time, though, because all of the stuff that the majority of us are tuning on is already set in stone, running the beta is not going to hurt anything because all of our crap is already kind of known and done. Zero says, hey, Kyle, what would you think about having a Goat Road Garage tune repository? Good question, Zero. And I'll tell you what, I have got unlimited space on Google Drive. I don't know why I wouldn't just set it up where anybody could go in there, post files, download files, and then you guys could share tunes. You know, big disclaimer though, you download anything off of that and you load it, it's your own ass. But I've got a lot of information out there already. It's on the pg4car.com website. It's not even the website. It goes straight to the garage, or not to the garage, to the Google Drive. So that is where I store a lot of the files that I work with on, well, mainly on the Cadillac, but there's some interesting other stuff on there. Atomic Punk says, silly meth question. If I haven't run out of fuel from the injectors, what benefit will meth have? Lower AIT and more timing, maybe. Those are two of the big ones. You know, methanol works great as a chemical intercooler. And so I have a small, like, piece of crap Chinese intercooler on my setup, and it helps. It knocks the temp down maybe 10, 15 degrees. The meth injection itself does all the heavy lifting to the point where on some big runs you can see boosted temps reach ambient or below because of meth injection. And then on top of it, if you have a decent meth blend on there, it's cooling down your cylinder temp, your air charge. You know, all that stuff combines to basically provide detonation protection so you can run a little bit more timing. Thank you, Mike White. I appreciate it, brother. Hey, Chris. Steeler743 says, I see the C8 the C8 vet seems to have factory wide bands on it. Hoping all GMs are moving to this. My guess is they're going to. Some of them have gone that way already. As I said, the XLR had factory wide bands on it in 2006. So everybody's catching up to all that sweet Cadillac technology. You guys make fun of that North Star. You didn't know. I have not heard that, Zero. So Zero is claiming that the Holley Terminator X is going to have a direct plug and play for the Gen 3 where it actually ties into the BCM. Would not surprise me. Would not surprise me, to be honest with you, because there's not a lot going on the low-speed buses for the third gen stuff. Paul says, about to install a methanol kit on my ATS. No, good choice. At the cutoff solenoid and the check valve, do I need to run another solenoid if I'm injecting behind the throttle body? If you're injecting behind the throttle body, okay, Paul, it depends on your setup. The check valve is really if you're running two nozzles, so I wouldn't worry too much about that side of it. But the cutoff solenoid is if you are injecting behind the throttle body or if you are flowing the pump from the back to the front. So if you're mounting your tank up by the pump, it's not an issue. But if you are going to mount your tank in the trunk and then inject behind the throttle body, I would probably do a solenoid right before the pump inlet and then one right before the jet, because on the injecting into the manifold, it will vacuum pull stuff out, and you might be all right because you're pulling a shorter section if you just ran the solenoid at the pump, but there's a good chance it will suck out the methanol from the jet to the pump in that line, and you don't necessarily want that delay whenever you're shooting it. What did I miss there about the empty screen on the right? Hillary, elaborate for me, please. Jeremy says, I have my tune dialed in pretty good, but I've been having an issue with some throttle hanging, cruise speeds and decel. LT5 95mm, and been having trouble sorting it out. Pull timing or torque. Look at your torque demand tables and make sure that you have negative torque values whenever the throttle is off of 0. You might have to bump those up because that negative torque value on the driver demand table, Jeremy, is what actually cuts timing and throws. I've only had 2.5 beers and I can't even talk straight. Closes the throttle body for you on that platform. James, I'm doing a 50-50 by weight. And AFR, I still shoot for standard AFR. So on boosted, I'm going to be shooting on a direct injected motor. I'm going to be shooting for around 0.8 to 0.5, 0.8 to 0.85. So 12 to 12 and a half. I still do the same AFRs whenever I'm running meth. Yeah, Jeremy, check out the driver demand. Hey, Kenny, welcome to the live Stro. What is up with that tonight? There needs to be a CAN bus adapter. Honestly, for the Holley stuff, and the Holley information's out there, so it would be possible. I wish I had more time to dive into it, but the XLR's gone so far off the rails that I don't even necessarily need to bother doing all that stuff. Ah, that sucks, Danny. Sorry to hear that, man. Mike White, do you have a video on scaling a 3-bar into a 2-bar OS? Well, you still put in the same values, Mike. So you still put in the 3-bar values into the oh man, I talked about this today and I'm getting mixed up because I've been on a different platform that doesn't use, but basically the slope and the intercept, which is going to be offset, and maybe the linear through HP tuners. You put in those values for the 3-bar. The thing about it is the 2-bar OS just is not going to read above 2-bar. .325 LS Sonoma, it's not even necessarily that the cars are running wideband, it's that the cars are starting to use neural networks. A good example of that is the Chrysler Dodge Jeep platforms. The neural network stuff, you basically plug in, this is what we want to see where, and then it goes through and looks at all of your sensors and automatically tunes themselves. James, what lambda do you shoot for when NA on a Gen 5? Man, you can go out to 0.9 and under power enrichment. Direct injection likes to run leaner than port injection. So I would run it out to 0.9 lambda. See if you're getting any knock on the stock timing tables. And then you should still have room for stock, or should have room for more timing on top of that nonetheless. I tell you, those DI motors do like to run a little bit leaner because they're a little bit more efficient, and spraying the fuel directly into the cylinder actually cools the cylinder down some. Zipperado says, I have a spare CTS-V sedan rims that would look good on the XLR. Send them on over. Those rims I got on there look like crap. Now I've got, oh, thank you, Paul. Can't wait to see how it runs with methanol on it, brother. I have GTO spares for the front. I need to clean them up, ground the letters off the front, repaint them, and then try and find a set of rears that kind of match the front for a drag pack, because I'm cheap like that. Kenny Tross says C5Z02's not switching after headers. Wideband showing 13 to 14.5 warm idle. Well, I mean, your idle's not bad on your wideband, but your factory O2s are not switching. How far back did it move the O2s? Because that will change the voltage range that you may have to adjust on those, Kenny, to get them to switch properly. Steve Van Hook says, when running NA on a Gen 3, should you mess with the PE table? Right now, I have PE coming out at 4,000 RPMs at 90% throttle with 0 delay. Hitting 750. that's rich, man. You don't need to be running 750 on that thing for your Gen 3. Bring it out to 8 to 8.5 for your PE. And there's different schools of thought on that, Steve. I know a lot of guys like to bring PE in down at like 2,000, even on naturally aspirated. I don't necessarily buy into it. Your peak power is at Stoic. We're running PE primarily because we have a detonation range on the top end and it likes a little bit more fuel. It helps to keep the cylinder combustion temps down. But that also being said, running Stoic all the way up to Redline doesn't produce any more power. So it's kind of a double-edged sword of like PE helps in multiple ways. But if you look at some of the older 6.0 liters on the 2500s, man, PE doesn't even turn on those things. Diego, I do have merch, brother. You can find my merch at the bottom of any video. I've got a merch browser there, or you can go to our website, goatropegarage.com. There's a merch link there. We've got decals that you can buy directly through the website, or you can go and buy sweet t-shirts, hoodies, stuff like that. Still got to get hats. I'm telling you guys, one of these days, it will happen. It will happen. Hey, Wallace, good to see you again, brother. We do have a raffle going right now for a free Goat Rope Garage shirt. There's about 10 minutes left. If you have not joined already, it is raffle ! Brandon, do I still have Tuned by Me stickers? Yes, I do, Brandon. I've got round ones and the old style ones. I don't know if the round ones are actually on the website, but I do have the ones that I prefer, which are just the cutout Tuned by Me. My favorite sticker, in fact. Yeah, exactly, Steve. Tom says, would you place stock O2 sensors on twin turbo setup on Gen 3 before or after the turbos? Do it after the turbos, Tom. Before the turbos, you're going to burn them up. Just gets too hot between the heads and the turbos. You might experience a little bit of lag, but it's not going to be a lot as far as O2 readings. Oh, yeah, John, you got one of the magnets. You get a magnet for the long-term patrons. James William, good question. In the 12.5 to 13.1 AFR debate, do you run richer at the torque peak and leaner at the horsepower peak? I do not. I just flatline my PE and go about my business. I think that there's been enough research on adjusting AFRs whenever you get up to that point, James, that it doesn't seem like leaning back out to 13.1 picks up enough horsepower to justify doing that. On a naturally aspirated setup, that might be a different question, but we're talking about 5 horsepower at the ultimate. Probably going to be closer to 2 or 3. 2 or 3 is not really worth leaning out to 13.1 in my mind. Kenny, you can find those at goatropegarage.com. I like to run a flat PE curve, man. I like to get in there. I don't necessarily ramp into PE as quick as a lot of people do. And part of that being whenever you bust that ramp rate up real quick, the transition is so fast that you will end up ruining your maps whenever you're trying to tune. So whenever you're here at Stoic and you're commanding 1 EQ and then here you're commanding like 0.85, if that ramp rate's maxed out, whenever it goes from that cell to this cell, it will have a huge error, and you have to go back and manually clean that up. And I don't see any benefit in it going from one cell to the next instantly. I like to see a curve across a couple cells. We're talking about 3, 4, 500 RPM at the most. You're still getting into PE before you need it. So, Kenny, no reason. Nobody should ever say my bad. Here at the garage, nobody says my bad. We just say, hell yeah, brother. Oh, wait a second. That's that other guy. We say ABT. Thursday, Friday. Man, I love Thursday, Fridays. Yeah, Jeremy says, after getting HP Tuner's Gen 5 stuff semi down, then going to the Holly system on my Chevelle. I hate you, by the way. It's amazing how easy the system is in comparison. It really is, man. The I'm happy with the Holly stuff. Except my biggest complaint about the Holly stuff is that the Terminator is not about the Holly stuff. Excuse me. In the Terminator, there's room for improvements in that, but all of that stuff is held over for what's the big one, the Dominator, or wherever the hell they call the next level up. Excuse me. Chris, I actually probably I bought quite a few today. Quarantine, as they say in Pittsburgh, quarantine. Steve Van Hook, Benadryl. Thanks, John. I appreciate it, man. Well, I said this kind of stuff right here. DZ says, I got the Hertz on channel, but it's not on the graph. Go in, double check DZ on your histogram to make sure that you are logging the mass airflow that is the sensor and not the other one, because that's probably what's happening, is that you have the original mass airflow that shows you the pounds per hour versus the one that shows you the frequency. Check that out. Should sort you out. Whoo! Using a super sniper and a blow through with a 496 twin turbo. Oh. Gross. Hey, while we're thinking about it here, Zeth, go ahead and throw your link out there for everybody. And another way of getting to Zeth's channel, Dirt Floor Fab, is to go to our channel. The quick way is never letting go. Oh, I messed it up. Tuning101.com. I'm going to own that website address until the day I die. I don't know how exactly, John. I don't know how Voldemort didn't have tuning101.com. Maybe I should go see if there's a domination channel also. I just get tuning.domination. If you go to tuning101.com and look on the right hand side, you'll see Friends of the Garage. Dirt Floor Fab is right there at the top. You have not dropped that guy a subscription, go subscribe, man. Seth's been a little bit busy lately, but he still made time to jump in here. And look at him sporting both the wrench and the Goat Rope Garage logo. James says, I usually flatline PE. Yep. A lot of tuners lean out PE as RPM clients. I mean, it makes sense in that aspect. Also, do you increase or decrease timing in the upper RPMs? It depends, on the platform. Some of them, I will peak out the timing that's going to look a little bit more like the torque curve. And then towards the red line, I might lean it out a little bit on that, James. But I like to kind of see how cars respond to doing that. Tom Murray, how far do you think a person can go on 88-pound injectors with E85? Very far. Sorry to hear that, DMC, brother. Hope everything bounces back for you. 88-pound injectors are huge. E85, I mean, you can go as far as somebody with 60-pound injectors could on 93. That answers your question, Tom. Welcome back, JT. How much room do you have left, Zero, at 14.5 pounds, though? And that's on a 5.3, right? Rick says, I have heard that there should be tunes on HP that I can look over and learn. What say you? I say that looking at other tunes to learn is probably not the route to go. Mike White says, what are your thoughts on tuning snake eater injectors? Injectors are injectors as long as they have good data and they're reliable. Oh, you're on a 6. Okay. Sorry, 0. 97% duty cycle at that? Dang. With 88-pound injectors, it's 14.5 pounds at a 6 liter. You're at 97% duty cycle. I wouldn't have thought that you were that high. Ah, okay. Well, 1500s, man. How's that idle? Which, what is your pulse width? 0, what's your pulse width at idle with those 1500s? And how rich are you running? I know, but what is your pulse width? Like, what is the milliseconds that you're running at idle on those? I honestly want to know with the Snake Eater 1500s. How are you getting 2 millisecond pulse width and still running 1.0 lambda? Let me ask you this. Okay, let me propose you guys a question. I am asking, you got 30 seconds left on the raffle. Get in if you haven't, ! raffle. Type that in right now to get your ticket if you have not. Okay, so let me ask you this. Been working on a car, has decapped injectors. Don't be a smart ass. Has decapped injectors, and they're flowing about 80 pounds per hour, right? Okay, now this is a PO1, which doesn't help. PO1 ECM doesn't help, but I can't force that thing below 1.6 milliseconds no matter what I do, and so it runs rich at idle. Any insight? Anybody? Be interested. These are whatever sloppies. These are sloppy decaps. Well, that's not an option, Brandon. Trust me, I tried that also. I got it down to 1.6, James. 1.6. No. It is a full flow pump. No way to lower base pressure. I'm telling you. They're probably, let's just say that they're running way too much pressure. How about that? Solid, no, they're decapped injectors. There is no, I mean, yeah, you could still, shouldn't be the impedance. Shouldn't be the impedance. But it's really weird because I have cut down all of the stuff in the ECU as far as like short pulse, all that stuff, pulse adder, all of that has been basically nixed. In fact, pulse adder has been zeroed out. So pulse adder is not even in there. Minimum, I've dropped it down way below the safe level of, probably 0.5 milliseconds is pushing it. I've dropped it down to 0.15 milliseconds. The ECM will not command less than 1.6 milliseconds. Yeah, well, and that's the thing is like fuel pressure would be nice if we could. No, they're sloppy decaps. Fuel pressure would be nice, and that's probably the answer to it. That's what it sounds like to me. Also, 0. probably drooling. Yeah, probably getting some pass by. Listen. I flattened the math curve up to 4,000 hertz. Made no difference. Could not command it any shorter. Could not get those things to quit flowing. And it's only about no. It's I mean it's listen. They're 10% rich at idle, which isn't the end of the world. In fact, 10% rich at idle is probably not enough to even cause a stumble off of idle. But once you get it up above, 1,000, 1,200 RPMs, everything flatlines out and it runs fine. But it's frustrating that I could not force those things below 1.6 milliseconds. Okay, who's ready? You got to be present to win. I'm going to pick a winner here. It's going to pop up. You're going to have basically a minute to claim that you are still here. Big money, no whammies. And our winner is Super Slowrado. Congratulations. You won a shirt. I'm pretty sure he's still here. It's not a boosted application, Atomic. Let me think. It might be. Chris is like, right away, reader all. No, he's here. Okay, Super Slowrado. It's like he took my name, Superrado, and added slow in the middle of it. Super Slowrado. Email me at info@goatropegarage.com or go to the website, goatropegarage.com, and use the comment box at the bottom. Shoot me your address. Shoot me your shirt size, which shirt you want, what color, all that jazz. Tom, it may be a P01 thing. Steve, just because you didn't win doesn't mean it's rigged. Listen, okay, by the way, there's the correct answer. Thank you, John, saying congrats. By the way, we are creeping up on the 20,000 subscription mark. Steeler 743, I'm a fan of Zero and Outburst Knock. We are creeping up on the 20,000 subscriber mark. So we're going to do ain't nothing to life for free, Steve. Yeah, seriously, crazy, isn't it? Crazy. We're gonna hit it before the end of the month, most likely. But that being said, doesn't matter about the 20K. But we need to do a 20K celebration. We did a 10K celebration, so I'm going to probably post some polls on the community channel for the website. Keep your eyes peeled about what kind of giveaways that we want to do. We gave a $100 gift card to Summit away for the 10K. So we at least got to do a $20 or $200 worth of gift cards for the 20,000s. So I don't know if we should do one $200 gift card or two $200 gift cards, and we'll give away a couple shirts. And thanks, S10. And then we will. I'm not giving away a new Pro Charger. Scott, how much money do you think I make off this crap? Thank you, Dirt Floor. I appreciate it. So we're going to do a big celebration live on the on Intune. We're going to have a lot of drawings. Okay, see, that's what I'm saying. Is like I'll post a survey. So keep your eyes peeled for the survey. Put your information out there. Let me know what you guys want to see. We'll give away you guys are the best. Appreciate you. You guys are making me weepy eyed. Not really. So, but yeah, we'll give away some t-shirts, we'll give away some gift cards, we'll give away some merch packs. Dude, Chris, I trust me. They lift this stuff down. I'm coming down to Australia. You guys do it big down there. That's what I love about the Aussies. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're not giving away a Kong 2650. I could do a Chinese GT45 again. if you guys wanna have a chance of winning a Chinese GT45, I'm more than happy to order up a Chinese GT45 and give one of those away. But keep your eyes peeled. Obviously, it's not happening next Thursday, but we're still growing pretty steady here. Uh, you know what, Ross? If Snow Performance won't gift you a kit, I will buy a kit from Snow Performance and I'll give it away. If somebody would be, if you guys would be interested in a snow meth kit, I will give away a snow meth kit. I can definitely give away some Snow Performance shirts also. Bam, you'd be surprised how good the Chinese GT45s are. Oh, so it seems like a lot of people would like a meth kit. So maybe instead of doing a gift card, yeah, Mark H, I could give away a free $75 spot for a month. That'd be a cool giveaway also. John, yeah, we're gonna have to make a meth shirt. Good call, brother. Meth on NA, man. Run more timing. We'll give away shirts for sure. Okay, okay. I've seen there's a lot of people that saying that they'd love to see a snow meth kit. I can make that happen. Trust me, Rick. It's 20,000 people, man. Tiger King meth shirt, dude. I played football in Winniewood Zero. Yeah, exactly. That this shirt used to be white, and then I got sprayed windshield washer all over myself. Yeah, James, you're if you're a 75% duty cycle, you can run E up to 50 E50. You'll probably be all right. Above that, you're going to definitely be in trouble. Your meth shirt's going to have to be white and dingy. Should the meth shirts just be like, say, I'm on meth and have a picture of me missing all my teeth? I'm on meth. Just blacked out teeth. Oh, mercy. So, as I said, not going to be next Thursday. Keep your eyes peeled on the community board whenever I. Yeah, Kenny. Keep your eyes peeled on the community board whenever I post polls and stuff like that. I will let you know whenever we are getting to the point of doing. That dude got all of his teeth replaced. He looks really good now. uh, you guys are getting me off track. I'm trying to wrap up, and you guys are making me laugh too much. Uh, Also, keep your eyes peeled this weekend. Maybe tomorrow we might do a live show from the garage. You're smoking crack, Mark H. I ain't about to. If I buy LT4 injectors, they're going on the truck. But yeah, I'll let you guys know whenever we're to that point. Hopefully in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, not next week, but the week after that. Hopefully we hit 20,000. Share the link, tuning101.com. If you have not already shared the link, go out there. Anytime you see somebody asking about tuning, say tuning101.com. This is where you go. Subscribe. Tell them to subscribe. And we'll have a 20,000 subscriber blowout. We'll give some cool stuff away. And rock and roll. Listen, I appreciate everybody as always. Thank you guys. I don't know. I don't have to tell you guys any of this crap. You are the best of the best. You're the people that show up week after week. We've got some new faces in here. Make sure and show up next Thursday. As you can see, we have a lot of fun in here in the chat room. Oh, man. I'm on the pill and meth. It's my dream girl, right? My dream girl is on the pill and meth. And as I said, I might do a quick live stream from the garage tomorrow just for fun. So, that being said, thanks for stopping by the garage, everybody at ABT. Always be tuning. Have a safe holiday weekend. And get out there and get some tuning done.